Hi everyone, it's Marsha from Shakti Soul Coach. So we are here today for our Aquarius full moon reading. This is an exceptional full moon because this is actually a blue moon. It'll be the second full moon in Aquarius for this year, for 2021. And so our original one was July 23rd. It was at 1 degree of Aquarius. And then in the middle, we had that amazing new moon in Leo on Lionsgate 8/8. And now we have the second Aquarius full moon, the blue moon, on this coming Sunday here in the Americas. And I think probably in Europe, it'll be in Europe too. And then adjust if you're in Australia or over on that side of the world. But in the Americas, it's going to be at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then Pacific Time will be 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:02. And so we'll be really immersed in it that day. So the fact that we have this incredible Leo new moon sandwiched by these two Aquarius full moons gives great significance to the power of where we are transforming as humanity. Aquarius represents humanity. It represents the collective. It represents, also our individuality, which is interesting because it has the rebel and the rebellion, revolutionary energy with it too. So this is an energy of collective, but not conformity. Okay? And so we are going to bring through today a message that is in that theme. Also, too, I have to point out I am wearing, ta-da, my blue moon t-shirt, once in a blue moon. So we have the opportunity here, especially at 29 degrees. I'm not an astrologer, but the little that I know about 29 degrees is that it is the last degree of the sign. So it's like, okay, we've gone through 30 degrees of this sign. What have we learned? What has the journey been? What's been the journey of humanity? How do we want to illuminate, manifest, clear, and heal whatever no longer serves us? And we want to bring in what will at a very high level. This is an opportunity to also tap into gateways. Aquarius has to do with the galactic energy, that when we're only working here with benevolent, unconditionally loving galactic energy. So it has to be tapping into the highest of unconditionally loving galactic energies. And we know from the Leo new moon on 8/8 Lionsgate portal, that is when, Lionsgate portal is when the spiritual sun Sirius meets in the sky with our earthly sun in the beautiful sign of Leo, the lion, right? This year was exceptional because we had not only Sirius, the spiritual sun, meeting the earthly sun in Leo, but we also had the moon in Leo meeting up with Sirius. So we had this triple energy in addition to, the normal Lionsgate energy of two suns. We also had the influence of the moon. And now, the full moon is about illumination too. What's been hidden, what's going to come to the surface, what was happening during your time, especially I'm getting around the new moon in Leo, around Lionsgate, because it looks like there might be a little bit of revisitation around this when it comes to this coming weekend. Plus or minus 3 days is like the real strong full moon energy. So that gives us like a 6-day period of really being able to dive deeply into the direction that we are as a part of humanity moving into, and yet staying strong in our own personal individuality. So, I love this depth of okay, we've got a little bit of, we've got two energies here that are coming together that on the outside may not feel like they absolutely belong together. They may seem like they are polarized. That of the rebel and the revolutionary and the innovative thinker and the future forward thinker. And then we have the humanity. We have the collective. And it's like, no, how do we? And this is what the real unity consciousness is bringing all, at least, I shouldn't even say that, but what I've been told is like not everybody, it becomes the same and becomes one. It is about everyone coming together as who they are and being able to create at the same 5D plus reality and in that higher consciousness energy. Okay? We are working today with, let's see, I'm like, because I'm just like, woof, they're just bringing everything through. Okay, we're going to start. I got this message, 4 decks. We're going to start with Rebecca Campbell's Starseed Oracle, illustrated by Danielle Noel, of course. Beautiful, beautiful oracle. And then we're going to go to something I usually don't use. And this is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And I mean, it's gorgeously, gorgeously illustrated by Jenna, and I hope I'm saying her name right, Delagratlia. And just gorgeous, so whimsical. And then we're going to use, because of the moon reference, the blue moon reference, the priestesses of Avalon, they wore the blue crescent moon on their third eye. So the Avalon message really came through strongly to pull this deck. This is also a Colette Baron-Reid deck, illustrated by Gary A. Lippincott. And then finally, we're going to end with the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. Okay, so within this, really like the whole, and I love this. I didn't even really look at this. Of course, Spirit's like, of course. What did you think? Okay, what am I holding? Here's the red ones. Look at that. Doesn't it, even though it's a Fibonacci spiral, it looks like a blue moon, and it looks like the woman or the man in the moon, right? I love that. And I'm like, I haven't used these cards. They look brand new, right? I haven't used these cards in ages. And then when I pulled them out and I saw that, I went, of course, the blue moon. And then, of course, here's the Avalon deck, right? There's that blue crescent moon being reflected in the chalice. And it even looks like it's sitting on, almost like a blue moon itself, right? I love that. And then, of course, we have the Moonology deck that actually, it could be any color, but look at them. This is, even though this is portraying a new moon, it's a blue moon, and I love that. So, okay, there's a confirmation by Spirit. Just had to kind of throw that in. So, the message that we're doing is we're doing a 4-card reading. We'll see if anything else comes up. We're going to start with what is the foundational message for this blue moon, and we're using the Starseed Oracle. So, we're connecting with that galactic energy, the benevolent galactic energy that Aquarius is associated with the upper realms. What is our foundational message for this blue moon on August 22nd? Oh, that came right out, huh? Okay, so what do we got? Breath of the Cosmos. I love it. Okay, my will, to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Oh boy. This has been a huge message, especially in my realm. This is about surrendering. This is surrendering my will to thy will. And, micromanaging the universe. This is about letting go. Letting go. I'm using all the cliches or, well-known expressions. Letting go and letting God. What this is also doing is it's allowing us to step out of our way. We are here right now in this potent energy to really step aside and to feel what it's like in that 3D. When we're in our 3D, we are in the we're in that egoic energy that wants what it wants, and it's a lot of times it's fear driven or survival driven, and it's like, but how come this isn't happening, and it needs to be happening, and on and on and on. And this is reminding us, it's like, there is an ultimate divine plan and there is divine timing. So this is about letting go and being in peaceful unison with all of the circumstances and the developments in our life. So this is walking forward in unity with our 5th dimensional self. okay? Being in unity with what would 5D do? Let's go in my 5D self. What would my 5D self do? That's essentially what this message is. So surrendering, allowing the divine in, allowing God Goddess in, and giving, like, I'm getting like this contraction, like, and it's about, okay, opening up the space. And in that space, because the thing about Aquarius is it does give us like these really out there, because it is associated with the galaxy, really out there kind of ideas and inspirations. And it's so innovative, and it's so like light years sometimes before anybody else, right? This is what we are contracting from, and Spirit's asking us to be open to. There are innovative solutions. I'm just seeing them blah, 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 like above a head, There's innovative solutions out there to really bring in. And I'm seeing when they're brought in, yes, they may go down through the crown, but they land in the heart. So it's this beautiful connection between the heart and the head. So, okay, so that's our foundational message. Okay, what are we going to build? What are we building upon that? And they kept on saying, use these cards because they're whimsical. And so I don't know if Aquarius has a whimsical quality to it, but boy, that's the message that's really coming through. It's like there has to be some whimsy, in these times that we are all living in these great times of transition. And I just love the illustrations by Jen. I think they're gorgeous. I love all her decks that she illustrates. And here we go, the whimsy. Oh, I love this. Unfinished Symphony. Okay. Can't make this up. Does that look like a blue moon or what? Oh, man. I'm going to have to put my glasses on and see a little bit more detail. And I love this one. This is like, oh, yeah. This is our 3D self, and this is our 5D self. Here's our 5D self. Just this gorgeous rising, and look at all the blues in this card, and here we are. Okay, when we surrender, yep, things are being written. Okay, what I've seen in myself and my clients, there are a lot of timelines changing, and I love this. I love this little piano keyboard, because to me that looks like the timeline. The timelines are changing. And is that a butterfly? No, it's a little bird up in there. And these two little birds are just like, I feel like they're part of like carrying the message of the gods. I'm getting like the god goddess is carrying the message of spirit. And so they're actually able to see that, oh, this is it. The reason the birds in particular, you've got one bird on the piano keyboard that I'm getting is a timeline. You have the other bird flying high above the keyboard, the timeline. You have us. This is us playing the violin. Looks like is she playing the violin or accordion? Sorry. The way her hands are, it looks like a violin. It's almost kind of hard to tell what she's playing. Ooh. Almost looks like maybe like a little sitar in a way. But anyway, she's playing an instrument, and the symphony isn't finished yet. And this is because the birds flying above represent the big picture. And the big picture during this blue moon of getting to see all the alternative timelines that could be appearing for people. So when I'm talking about alternative timelines, I'm talking about there are changes that are being made where we are feeling, we feel like so divinely guided to go in this one direction, and then whoop, it changes. Or we thought like, oh, well, that plan won't happen for another 5 years, and we're moving toward it, and then whoop, the door opens, and it's happening now. And so, yes, this is saying the blue moon is still a time frame where a lot of these timelines are up in the air, and it's being viewed from the divine as a sorting out this blue moon, if you will, a sorting out of which direction each one of us as an individual in the collective is best suited to take to serve humanity, serve the collective, serve the divine, and to serve our own spiritual mission, our own soul mission. Why do we come here? And this is a question that the blue moon is asking all of us to reflect on. And some of us may get like, whoa, download, choo. And some of us may get like static nothing. And both are divine guidance. Both. Because static nothing means pause. Pause. And many of us are getting the pauses because there is still a big picture that is being formed overall. If you will, I hate to say this because it sounds like very strategy-like, but I'm seeing a chessboard, and the chessboard kind of has this look of, pieces are being moved so that we can, I'm like, okay, give me a higher, like they're showing me, okay, well, now they're showing me the earth. So there's grids on the earth, and people are being, let's say, moved into the grids and moved into positions on the grid of the earth so that we can really serve at our highest potential. And this is also, this highest potential, it relates back to our fifth dimensional embodiments, 5D plus embodiments. Okay, so this is what we're building. This is what we're building upon that foundation, surrendering and then tapping into the full moon energy this weekend. And the other thing is, building, of course. The, it's a 22-day, the full moon in most of the world. And so on that 22-day, 22 is the number of the master builder and the master architect. So it's really going to be supporting any small or life-changing moves in our lives. Okay, and so the next, we're going to go to Avalon now. And so the question about Avalon is, what else we're asking Avalon is, what else do we need to know or do? What else do we need to know or do? What else do we need to know or do? What else do we need to know or do? Whoa. There you go. Fell right out, right? There we go. What else do we need to know or do? Oh, interesting. Okay, protection. So, I want some clarity on this one, though. Because he's like, oh, yeah, protect yourself. Yes, of course. But there's more to it than that. Might be protecting ourselves from ourselves. More clarity on the protection message about, got two. Okay, so here we go. I love it. Okay, so we received, interesting. The king, man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to law and justice. Okay. And then, communication. I love this. Okay, so we've got a big, what else do we need to know or do here? We know what we're building upon. We're surrendering into ourselves. And when it comes to protection, you can do something as simple as calling Archangel Michael in. He loves you unconditionally to please protect you. Okay? Use white light in your auric field. Those are very, very basic. But I do feel that this is more than that. I also feel that the protection here is about, we're starting with surrender. This is our foundational message. What we're building upon that surrender is the unfinished symphony, is getting a little bit more clarity, allowing the timelines to adjust, us looking at the signs and the synchronicities. The protection to me is don't get off track. I'm feeling like it's almost like protecting yourself from ourselves, protecting ourselves from ourselves. And then really protecting ourselves from ourselves. It's like, don't get off track, don't get swayed, don't get swept up in the news or maybe news stories that are really big. The king can go either way. It can be very authoritarian, but I'm going to go with, it could be a very authoritarian influence that could be coming in over this full moon that may want to, clamp down harder on the collective if that is happening, where you happen to be located on beautiful Mama Gaia. Or it doesn't even mean to have to be like quote unquote happening. It can be just your own perception. Am I being, the revolutionary always asks, am I being trampled on? Right? Like, I don't know. And so this also at its highest vibration is the divine masculine coming in. And the divine masculine not coming in as yes, it is the king. They're telling me there's something else on here that I need to look at. Yes, it is the king. Yes, he has the scepter. I'm going to have to turn around so you all can see. Yes, he has the king. Yes, he has the scepter. Yes, he has the sword. Ooh, what's at his gosh, I'm really like at the throat almost. That's at the higher heart center. It looks like a tree of life. I'm trying to see it best here. I'm feeling that's a tree of life. And then we have the knight by his side. And the knight is in a way like offering protection. So we've got the protection and we've got the king. This message could go a million different ways. Oh, man. Okay. In the last, we talked about the lower vibrations. We're going to continue with that lower vibrational message. There may be some, and I'm not getting where. Yes, I do live in the United States. Okay. I'm not getting where. However, it is possible that there may be a need for any male who is in a position of authority in government or even in business, but I feel it's almost more governmental. This is a 2020 year, and here in the United States, we've got the curse of Tippecanoe. There is a need for protection for someone, potentially, a male, this is male, a male potentially who is in a position of authority across the planet, and protection especially from physical harm, okay? The communication, I don't feel if something comes out in the news, for example, I don't feel it's going to happen because I do feel there would be communication prior to that that will alert this from happening. This is what Spirit's saying. This is the lowest vibration that this full moon in Aquarius could bring. Okay. And I know I talked in many videos back, probably back in November, about the curse of Tippecanoe here in the United States. So if you all think back, you can go back through the history, but these are quick examples. Any president who's been elected in a 0 year, especially 1860, Abraham Lincoln, we know what happened. He was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. And then we had JFK, who was also elected in 1960. Same thing. Reagan, who was elected in 1980, had assassination attempts, but survived all of them. So there is this strange thing, and you can go, even more so, you can expand into that, or like in 2000, the strange election results between Al Gore and George Bush, that just kind of perpetuating. So, there may be more of a U.S. person, but that doesn't necessarily, I'm feeling it's more global, actually. Could be anywhere. Also, too, let's see, 41. They keep on showing me the communication 41, 5. This is a 5-year. And so, oh, and communication, of course, the throat chakra. Look at, I have my lapis on. Opening up. We're talking about blue moons. Blue moons. Blue. Color of the throat chakra. Right? This color right here. Color in my headband. Color of my blue moon. Okay? Communication, the good news about all of this is we're going to take it to a higher level because, like I said, this is part of what we're talking about when we talk about timelines. Okay, so what's the other possibility? Where are the other timelines? What are the other possibilities? We're going to bring it up to the highest vibration. The highest vibration is that the divine masculine comes in its absolute strongest form, its most dynamic divine form, and it enables us to truly, and this is for women and men, it enables us to stand in our own authority. Sometimes in our own authority, yes, we do need, we do need the sacred warrior tools. And this can represent, the sword can represent the sword of truth and the sword of wisdom. And then we also have the scepter up here. This, oh boy, we're clearing something around this. This also represents within ourselves our own sovereignty, okay? And then, yes, there is the knight over here who is an assistance of protection, just in case. And this can represent family, friends, someone who's always looking out for your back, who's always got your back, right? The other part of this dynamic is and also, too, this is opening a gateway. This energy, the divine masculine, is definitely opening a gateway for communication across all levels, all parties, so that they can all stand in their own truth. Because let's face it, the 5 energy, the communication energy, the throat chakra energy is the energy of truth. And so the other part about this is we know that in the Aquarius energy, it is an energy that is about breaking down. And so the Aquarius full moon, the moon is about emotions, illumination, lighting up the dark, the full moon, and things that have been kept secret. There's like a lot of different messages here. There could be a lot of secrets that are coming out that could be communicated about people in high offices and high visible profiles, okay? This is the other thing that could come out of the communication. They've been protected in the past. They've been able to hide in the dark of the moon. But now the Aquarius full moon is, I'm hearing the word demanding, that more be exposed, like to illuminate, to give illumination to that which has been in the dark, from the collective, from humanity, from the Aquarius energy. Okay, so that could come out too. We got a lot of different areas. The other thing is, at the highest timeline, we are talking also about this revolutionary energy of Aquarius. And so this energy is one that is transformative in its nature. And so this transformation is one of what we have viewed power always as being for the last 5,000 years. Let's just ballpark it. For the last 5,000 years. And now it's time to take this old energy of the divine authority of the patriarchy and to bring it into its highest vibration of the divine masculine in its truest essence. So, okay, so that's what we need to know or do about this full moon, which is very much a collective message too, but also it was brought down to our level where we have the power of communication at our highest vibration. Remember, connecting with your fifth dimensional self, and using that word to not only protect ourselves, but also to stay in our own authority and to practice being in our divine masculine energy. because all men and all women have divine masculine energy. Okay. This is about proper use of power, proper use of the word. The word is, the sound current is what we create upon. The word is what we create upon. And we can create protection for ourselves, for the world, for our loved ones. And we can also create our own inner authority, our own sovereignty, our own justice. And not in a vigilante way, okay? We're going to go the highest. We're talking about the spiritual rebel, the divine rebel, okay? So we're talking about, okay, sovereignty, here I am, divine rebel, and then being able to communicate that in whatever way, shape, or form that we need to, that is in our best and highest good to do. Okay, so what is the spiritual advice, the overall outcome? And this is, oh, I'm loving it. There's a monarch butterfly flying right in front of me, so I love that. This is, of course, the Moonology deck. What is the spiritual advice, the overall outcome of this gorgeous Aquarius blue moon? Ah, yes. Okay, everybody, you're going to love this. So interesting, because on the 8-8 gateway, we were working with Inanna, the Inanna energies. And the Inanna is the Sumerian goddess, and also Ishtar. She's the Babylonian version of rebirth, of death and rebirth. Okay, and then we were working, and then Lakshmi came in to finish it off. So Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity and beauty, and, you know, the beautiful, like the sensual enjoyment of the five senses of this beautiful planet that we live on. And here we are, the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. Okay, everyone. So it's interesting too, because we're talking all about this Aquarius energy, and right now the planet Uranus, which is Aquarius's ruler and carries the same qualities, is in, guess what? Taurus. And it's about to go retrograde this weekend. I think it goes retrograde on Saturday. I didn't check it though. Let me see if I can, I have my calendar here. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it quite. But I know, I'm pretty sure it's going retrograde this week, or really close to the full moon. So, with Uranus slowing down in Taurus, that gives us an ability to look at the revolutionary ideas, the out there innovative inspiration, divinely guided ideas that are uniquely and individually our own, to be of service to the collective. And so there, especially with all of these other messages that have come in, the surrendering, the breath of the cosmos, surrender, and just surrender in this place of okay, I'm going into my 5D self, and I'm just going to be the observer of my life, even though things are this is not what I wanted. But it's going into, being in your higher self. Okay, looking at from that unfinished symphony, from that big picture. And then we've got, this inner authority that's happening within ourselves. This ability to protect ourselves, to protect our loved ones, to protect what we value. Taurus is about what we value. This is also about self-esteem and worthiness, Taurus. What do we value, and do we feel worthy of what we're valuing? That's the part of the protection here. And then, the authority, our own sovereignty over that, and then our ability to communicate that, to be in our truth, to live that and express that. And this is the path to our prosperity. So I do have to say, if we take it in a literal sense, that the Taurus new moon is quite ahead. The Taurus new moon is probably next April or May. and end of April, beginning of May. And so, what would that be? Is that about 6 months from? No, it's not even 6 months from now. I think it's more than that. So, this is just a time frame that I am feeling that a lot of people at that Taurus new moon are going to feel a shift of sorts. I know it's a long ways off. However, right now, the prosperity that lies ahead is us valuing ourselves, us feeling worthy of it, and us allowing ourselves to truly step into this very sovereign place of feeling secure in the collective and as an individual, as a divine rebel. And each and every one of us is a divine rebel. Because everyone is unique. And so that's our own little personal rebellion, in a way, is to express that uniqueness instead of being a Stepford wife. This is, it's, that's what we're heading toward. It's like, okay, we have this choice that's coming through. And we have this ability to really love ourselves to the extent that we adore and give authority to our own unique nature, soul purpose, soul experiences, and the wisdom that are derived from it. Okay, is that it? Yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's it. They're saying that's plenty, I think, for today. So, okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked it, give it a like, give it a share. Also, too, my beautiful sister priestess, Jennifer Ashira Ra, and is been gracious enough to honor me with a little Instagram live time with her on this coming Thursday. And Thursday is the 19th. Actually, it would be my father's 100th birthday that day. Thursday the 19th, Eastern Daylight Time. So I guess 1:30, that would be 10:30 a.m. Pacific Time. And you can find the live interview on Instagram at Jennifer_Ashira Ra. And Ashira Ra is all one word, and it's ASHIRARA. And if I get technically savvy enough, which I hope with a little bit, we were just talking about all this Aquarius energy, I'll do my best to put it in the video. But yeah, come join us. I would love to have you, and because I always post this stuff on IGTV, so I would love to have you to join us live. It'll only probably be a half hour, and I'd be honored to have you as part of the group. So we'll be talking more than likely about Mary Magdalene and Sacred Union, and whatever else comes through from Spirit. Okay, so many blessings to you all, beloveds. A blessed blue moon in Aquarius this weekend. Bye for now.